All right, Jesse Empire, welcome back. So I know all of you guys have been waiting on bated breath for the next Diddy update, and that is happening right now because we got big stories. I got to play 2 recordings for you guys, okay, that have not been played on this channel. One, okay, is Diddy getting recorded talking to one of his victims, okay? It's the creepiest, most insane video of all time, or I'm sorry, recording of all time. And we actually covered it on my other channel with Gabrielle, but without any context, and now this witness testified, okay, about what this actually was, which makes it so much crazier. And it also calls into question the validity of this entire case. Okay. I realize that sounds crazy, right? Because obviously we know Diddy, dude beats up girls, whatever. You're like, he's a piece of trash. But when you hear the circumstances around the recording of Diddy that I'm going to play you for, I'll play it first, actually. You'll understand what I'm saying. All right. Now, we also got a recording of Cassie, a recording of Cassie. Everyone's all, are you saying that we're going to be watching her getting pounded out by escorts? No. No. And do you think that I would even make a joke about that if I thought that she was a victim in this thing as it relates to the freak offs? I wouldn't. So take that for what it is. Okay. But then also we're going to talk about Diddy deciding to not testify, as you can see right here. Okay. Pretty unbelievable when you think about it, dude. It's like, dude, you're on trial for your life. You're not going to testify? Really? Not going to tell your side of the story? That is pretty wild to me. And I realize usually in these big high profile cases, they don't, the defendant doesn't testify. But if it's me, especially in this situation, if it's me, I'm going to be like, put me up there, dude. Okay. Think about how crazy, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't want to step on it. Let me just say this. Okay. This video, there's a lot of meat on this bone. Give me the opportunity to kind of go through, just watch this whole video, okay? Because I have a lot of really valid points to make, and I have an incredibly engaged, very intelligent viewer base, and I read your comments, and I want to know what you guys think about this. And by the way, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, I would appreciate it if you would do that. So go ahead and subscribe, and then like this video. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so, I'm sorry. And then you have to stay around so you can hear this recording of Cassie is bananas, dude. Okay, but I want to start right here. So, if you guys have never watched this show, this is me and Gabrielle's show, Play with Matches. And we listened to this recording 6 days ago. But again, since doing this video, we have context of what it is. But you guys need to hear this first so I can give you what the actual context is. Okay, so one of the victims, this was played in court. Sex crime trial has surfaced of Diddy calling an anonymous witness, Jane. So this is one of his ex-girlfriends who is testifying right now. And this is apparently a voicemail that he had left her after,
after a freak off.
Correct. Okay. This, by the way, that's my wife, Gabrielle. If you guys, that's my wife, and our other show is amazing. You guys should definitely go follow that channel. The link is in the description. This is going to make your blood run. Well, either you're going to be like, wow, he's really nice. Or, well, all right, fine. Jeez.
Baby, we had a great time. Stay in the light. It's all good. Get your rest. You are the pipe. That's my new name for you, pipe.
He's saying crack pipe, by the way. He's calling her crack pipe.
Or should I call you CP? Okay. But yeah, I want you to stay in the light. You know what I'm saying? We had a very, very good time together. So much fun. So much fun. Now go rest up. Get in your bag. You know what I'm saying? Got your contract. Find a nice little spot.
That right there is the big one. Got your contract. So we're going to discuss what he was actually talking about there because we didn't know when we did this video, and now I know is very important.
Put your mind at ease. And yeah, I had a great time. And I really, really want you to get some rest. I didn't know about you throwing up and all that. That's when I was like, hold up a second. All right, get some rest, baby. Love.
All right. Now let's get a word from our sponsor, Venice AI, that brought you this incredible video. Have you heard of this? Sam Altman just announced that ChatGPT can reference every single thing that you have ever typed into it. Every late night question, every personal thought, business idea, it's all in there now. And oh, they just added the former director of the NSA onto their board. Edward Snowden called this a calculated betrayal of your privacy. Does that sound familiar? Remember when we thought social media was harmless until it wasn't? Alexa's listening, Meta tracks everything, and now AI is next in line. And now they're talking about requiring government IDs just to use these tools. No thanks. That's why I switched to Venice.ai. It's open source, permissionless, and private. Your chats stay on your device. Encrypted. Nobody's snooping. Nobody's selling your data. And the Pro plan is amazing. Upload PDFs, create images with no limits, and fully customize how Venice interacts with you. I use it every day and my data stays mine. So if you want to use AI without handing your entire life over to big tech, grab 20% off a Pro plan. Go to Venice.ai/JesseOnFire. Use code JesseOnFire for 20% off. Seriously, do it before time runs out. That's VENICE.ai/JesseOnFire, JesseOnFire, and use code JesseOnFire for 20% off now. Now, outside of the sponsorship, I will just tell you that playing with Venice AI, they say that you have limitless image creation with the Pro plan. And I tested this out, okay? And it's true. Limitless. Make me a picture of Sydney, you know what I mean? You can do whatever you want, and they'll make it, okay? It's pretty cool. I'm just saying, I mean, don't use it for anything nefarious, but it is true. There are no limits to what they will make. All right, so let's go ahead and let's discuss that creepy ass recording and then talk about what it actually meant and why it calls into question this entire case, okay? So who he was talking to right there was he was talking to Diddy's, the girl that's 50 Cent's baby's mom that then, you know, it was Diddy's girlfriend, okay? Diddy's girlfriend. Here is something very important to note right out of the gate, okay? The contract was a love contract. Let me explain to you what that was, okay? She signed a contract to be his girlfriend where he would pay $10,000 a month to her. I think she also might have like gotten an apartment with it too or whatever, okay? And there's like terms and it's like, okay, so when we do blah, 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 it's literally like, here is what is expected of you as my girlfriend and here's what you will be paid. Okay. And she was doing all the freak offs, whatever. She was a long-term prostitute. There's just no other way to think about this. She literally signed a contract to be doing what she was doing with Diddy. Okay. The idea that this girl was a victim, they put her up there on the stand as a victim. They're like, oh my God, tell us about the harrowing experience that you had with Diddy. She's like, well, you know, I'll just say like the first time that we did a freak off, we were just kind of watching adult videos and he was like, ooh, wouldn't that be hot for me to watch you with someone else? And she was like, you know, we were just talking. He's all, that could happen tonight. And so I agreed to do it. And she's like, and then honestly, once we did it once, it was like opening a Pandora's box. And, you know, and basically she's like, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It turned me on so much. We did it all the time. We did whatever. You're also, okay, you signed a contract to be his girlfriend. You are openly saying you enjoy doing these, okay? Like, you were the one setting these up, okay? You were the one like, what on earth are we talking about? How are you a victim of anything? You're a gold-digging whore, okay? Like, that's what you are. You're a gold-digging whore, okay? Diddy, 50 Cent. She had two other super famous dudes that had banged her out. They were like rap stars. You're not a victim, sweetheart, okay? You are not a victim. And that is honestly where I'm at with this case now. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that right now. I am on the side of Diddy should be acquitted for a lot of this stuff. Now, do I think that Diddy should live a nice, charmed life outside of jail? No. Okay, again, he should be punished for beating women. Bottom line, he should be charged. He should be in jail for beating women based on this case alone. Now, there are a million civil cases that are saying that he's committing horrific crimes. But none of those people are here to testify against him. They are not even accusing him of the crimes that I have heard of that I've been basing my opinion on. So are they true? I have no idea. But based on this trial, what you have is a bunch of gold diggers that signed up to be freak off girls. Now, and again, I realize like a lot of you guys probably, you know, the ladies that watch this, I assume the idea of taking $10,000 a month to get pounded out and, and peed on by escorts in front of the dude who's paying you, paying your bills probably sounds repulsive and degrading. I totally understand that. And I agree with you, okay? If I found out that one of my daughters grew up into that, I would be like, and every single moment of her childhood where I was trying to do the right thing as a father was a failure. Okay. It's literally like you set a very specific goal of, how you're going to raise daughters. And basically, if they end up doing that, you failed in every possible category. Okay. But that's not the same as them being victims of sex trafficking. Okay. Like, I just listened to this attorney talking about it, and he was like, yeah, he's talking about how the sex trafficking, statute is supposed to be applied. You're talking about women who are like stuck in terrible situations in Mexico or like, one of these other countries. And they're like, hey, yeah, so we're going to bring you to the United States. And then, we're going to hook you up with a waitress job. And they're like completely ignorant, dude. These are people who don't have the internet. They don't know anything. And so they're like, oh, really great. They trust them. They end up there, and the restaurant ends up being them getting a train run on them for money that they do not get for years and years and years and years and years until they're not pretty anymore. Okay, like that's what sex trafficking is supposed to be. Not, hi, I'm some gold digging hooker that is looking to get a special situation with like a rich rapper who then is going to watch me in this weird fantasy thing that he does all the time. Like, that's not what this is supposed to be. Now, is he going to get convicted of it because you can kind of read and apply the law however you want? Yes, probably. But I just want to go on record that I think that I do not believe that any of these girls are victims, including Cassie, and I'll tell you why. She's a victim of domestic violence, 100%. Absolutely 100%. Okay? But when it comes to the trafficking part, dude, she broke up with him a million times. She cheated on him all the time. Okay? The idea that she was like encased in this like thing she couldn't escape is ridiculous. It's not true. She broke up with him and left him a bunch of times. Dude, they played a recording of Diddy talking to the other girl, and he's just like, look, he's like, are you trying to play games with me? He's like, dude, listen, you can play whatever games you want, but I'll tell you what's going to happen. I'm just going to disappear. Here is my, after listening to all these testimonies, here is my honest take of Diddy. Is Diddy has like an A girl that's like his girl. And that girl is in serious danger. Not even serious danger. She's going to get beat up. Bottom line. She's going to get beat up. Okay. He doesn't beat up these little side girls that he keeps around. Those girls, he doesn't care about them. They're like sex objects that are taking the deal. They are taking the deal. And then you have, Cassie or Kim Porter, and he used to beat them. He beat them up all the time. That's why I don't really care if he gets convicted or not. But what I'm saying is like the prosecution's case, this idea that they were entrapped is not true. It's not true, dude. It's not true. It's just not true. Okay. If it was, then how did Cassie end up leaving him? How did she end up leaving him for a dude that Diddy hired? He hired that guy to be her trainer, and she left Diddy and went with that guy. Like, if you think that Diddy would have allowed that if she was in this entrapped situation, it's stupid. Okay. Now let's listen to this other recording though, because this is Cassie, okay, getting caught on tape. And in this one, okay, she is talking to someone because she heard that one of the freak off tapes had gotten leaked. So this is her talking to someone about the tape, and she wants to like see it or whatever. So like, check this out.
Yeah, you don't have to see it, but it's my life and I'll kill you.
Yeah, but
no, I will kill you if you don't show me right now. I will kill you, and I will hide you, and I will cut you up and put you in the dirt right now.
Hey, she's scary. She's scary. So I will kill you, and I will cut you up, and I'll put you in the dirt. You're like, man, you sound pretty when you're mad. You sound real pretty, Speaking of pretty girls, Gabrielle and I are going to film. Remember to go follow Play with Matches.
Pull it up. If you have it, pull that up. Because if not, I'm going to kill you, and then he's going to kill you again. So just do it. Pull that up right now. You got that pull that up. I'm going to kill you. You don't understand. I don't give a I've never killed anybody in my life, but I will kill.
Bro, I love when ghetto people do that, dude. Okay? Like, I love that. You don't understand. I will kill you. That's like extra emphasis, Like when they slap the back of. So if you want to do what they do, you take your hand and then slap the back of your hand into your palm like this. I will. And that's when they're serious, right? That's when they're serious, or they're emotional, Generally speaking, for future reference, if you are actually engaged with someone who says they're going to kill you, here's what I would recommend. The person who calmly tells you very subtly, without directly saying it, that they'll kill you, that's the threat that you need to take real serious. Okay? Real serious. If they go, I'm telling you right now, you need to show me that. Okay? You need to show me that tape now. Okay? You really think you're in a position to keep this secret? Do you have any idea how important this is to me and what'll happen if you do not show that to me? That's not even a good impression. That was bad. I'm not usually bad at those, you know? But it's because I'm laughing at Cassie on the inside, so I can't get myself to be also, you know, a person who actually ice cold will put you in the ground. Because she's too funny with this. I will kill you. I will kill you. Do you understand? I'll kill you. I will cut you into pieces. Sorry.
I will kill you because you're with me. You're with me in my life right now. If I saw a video of you doing anything that you didn't want people to see, I would show you the video so you could tell me what the happened. You're playing games with me, telling me.
Oh, and by the way, she's talking to an escort. So.
You saw some. Now you're saying you didn't see some. You're with me. I'm going to you up. I don't think you understand. And it's not going to be my hands, and it's not going to be blood on my hands. Someone else is going to do it. So you have to tell me right now, and I'm recording this whole shit. FYI, tell me what the you're talking about.
There is something so funny to me about little girls who get really mad, you know? Like, there's something really funny about that. Like, if they're, you know, if there's like, they're justified in their anger, you know, it's like, oh, okay. But like when they get angry and they are little, they're these little girls and they're like, I will kill you. I'm like, oh my gosh. Tell me more, Cassie. Tell me more. I am scared. I am scared. Like I am getting very, very afraid right now. Tell me how you're going to do it. It will not be my hand. I will have you killed. I'm like, you're going to have me killed? Yes. Okay. So you're recording yourself saying that. You think that in some way makes it more likely that you're going to kill. So you're recording yourself, okay, committing first degree murder. So like you're recording yourself because you're definitely actually going to kill me, right? And you're gonna have Diddy do it. My God, you know, I'm scared. I really am scared, you know, because if you were going to kill me, you probably would definitely tell me and then record the call. Go ahead though. Tell me again. Tell me again. Nothing makes people more mad than when they're really mad and you are dismissive of their feelings. It's so funny, dude.
Because this is not cool. We're not playing. I'm not playing with you, Sujit. Like, you saw some Yes, you're my brother. Be my brother and tell me what you saw.
So now, you know, she's like, look, this ain't cool. Hey, so like, hey, because this is not cool. You're like, I thought you were going to kill him. But it's not cool that you're not telling me. You're all, well, are you going to kill me? Or are you like, you know, are you trying to, you know, we're such good friends that like, I owe this to you. Like this is not cool. I thought you were going to kill me and cut me up, dude. Cassie. Gosh, I like you better when you're slapping the back of your hand. Let's see.
You're going to be able to find it?
That is funny, dude. Yeah, but so bottom line on he's not going to testify, which is totally fucking crazy to me. You know, if I'm on trial for my life, dude, you better bet your goddamn life I'm going to tell you my story, because think about it, dude. Like, think about it in terms of, forget this is a trial, right? Like, just imagine this situation. Like, let's say you're working at a job, right? And you have like the management and they're like, okay, so there's somebody fucked this presentation up and they're going to pay. Okay. Someone is responsible for this. And there's like 4 people on the team, you know, and they're like, okay, so how are we going to get to the bottom of this? They're like, well, we want to hear everybody's side of the story. So they bring each person in one by one. And you already know that all of them are going to blame it on you, even though it was not your fault. And then they're like, all right, Jesse, what is your side of the story? I go in there. I'm like, I'm going to choose to go ahead and not testify because I think that you guys could probably see through those super biased stories that you guys heard, you know, like, yes, they came in, they told you their story, but I figure you guys probably could see right through that. You don't need me to tell my side of the story, right? just go with your gut. You know, go with your gut. You're like, you're going to lose your job if they get this wrong. It's like, I know, but I trust your judgment. You know, I don't want to start talking and then have you guys ask me questions that I don't want to have to answer. So I'm just not going to say anything. You're all, this makes you look definitely very much not guilty. I'm convinced. Dude, I don't give a fuck what my lawyer told me. Like, they're like, look, dude, trust me, you don't want to go up there. You don't want them to ask you about this, this, and this. It's like, yes, I do. No, trust me, I absolutely do. Okay? I can be self-deprecating. I can own my mistakes. Although Diddy's not very genuine. I might not put him on the stand, actually. I would go on the stand. Because what you see is what you get. You'd be like, dude, Jesse, we saw you dragging her down the hall. Okay? You were dragging her down the hall. What the hell were you doing? I'd be like, honestly, I lost it. Okay? I will be perfect. I will be totally open with you about that. Okay? I grew up in a house where my father hit my mother. I will be like, I am a broken person when it comes to that stuff. I obviously understand it's not a good thing. I work on it. I'm not pretending to be a perfect person. In that situation, I had a bag of $250,000 and she took it out of the room and stole it. And she was walking down the hallway with my money after doing this, this, and this. And she tried to sneak out with my money and I flipped out, dude. That's why I grabbed the bag and I started walking back to my room. You know, that's what it was actually about. And honestly, they're trying to paint this as if I was beating her up and dragging her back to have sex with. Why would I want to have sex with her after she did that? Okay, what she did is she broke my phone, she did this, and then she grabbed all of my money and tried to sneak out while I was in the shower. Okay? That's why I grabbed the bag and just went back there. It had nothing to do with a freak off. Does that even make sense? When you watch the video, did it look like I was dragging her back? I dragged her until I got the bag and I went back into my room. Okay? I'm guilty of domestic violence, 100%. I am absolutely not guilty of forcing any of these girls into this stuff. Like, this lifestyle might seem bizarre to you guys. I totally understand that. I wouldn't expect the average school teacher to understand my sexual proclivities, okay? Like, I'm a weirdo billionaire. I will acknowledge it. I've been feeding my worst impulses for 20, 30 years. I'm not a good person in a lot of ways. But what I never did, I never forced any of these girls to do that because they wanted to do it. They loved it. Now, did I kind of open the door for them to realize that they wanted to do it? Of course I did. Did I do that on purpose? Absolutely. This is what I like. Hey, maybe you'll like this as well. So they tried it out and they did. Okay? They liked it. The idea that I was forcing them is provably, it's ridiculous. Just look at all the messages. Show me a message where it was like, bitch, you're going to do this. I never did that. I never once did that ever. You know? I just didn't do it. I don't expect you guys to love me. I don't expect anybody, whatever, but I'm on trial for my life. They are trying to put me in a box forever, for the rest of my life. For one specific thing on this charge that I am telling you, there is no question. I will go to my grave knowing I am innocent of this. And you will too. Honestly. These girls took a deal. They took the deal. But you know what Diddy would sound like, though? Would probably be a little bit more like this, dude. You know, like it would probably sound a little bit more like this.
Now go rest up, get in your bag.
He's like, hey, go rest up. Hey, man, I want you guys to just, come up with the verdict that you think is fit, man. Like, just come up with that verdict. Go get your West. Why does he talk like that? Hey, get your West, I heard you were sick. I don't even like that, man. I don't like to hear that you were sick, but we've been connecting over this trial. Y'all been looking at me. I've been looking at you. I've been thinking to myself, like, these are my people, right? Because you're my people, right? And you don't want to bury me, right? Probably a little bit less compelling. Anyway, that's enough. Love you guys. Bye-bye.